Welcome to Free Flow Friday, powered by the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast. I'm Dave Dubeau, and I'm very excited to give you an over-the-shoulder learning experience around raising capital, as well as other tips, tricks, and strategies to help you on your real estate investing journey. So let's start. Let's discover together. All right. So tonight, welcome everyone. Our focus is on getting referrals and testimonials. That's what it's really all about when it comes to our investor partners. How do we get referrals to their friends and their family members? And how do we get some kick butt testimonials? Who likes that idea? Let's talk about testimonials, you guys, because testimonials are amazing. And if you're not getting testimonials, you're missing out on some amazing marketing materials, right? So a quick little story. Way back in the day, about 15 years ago now, I was part of a very high-level marketing mastermind with Dan Kennedy and his partner Bill Glazer, and so literally 4 or 5 times a year, I was schlepping my butt from Kamloops to God knows where, all over the states to attend these marketing get-togethers and these marketing conferences and all this kind of stuff. And another guy that was going all the time was my buddy Owen. And at these things, they always had testimonial booths, right? Where you could go and they would videotape you saying all sorts of great stuff about how smart Dan Kennedy was and how great Glazer Kennedy was and all this kind of stuff. And every time I turned around, it seemed like this guy was up there giving some sort of video testimonial. And me being the reserved Canadian that I am, I said, well, yeah, I'm kind of happy with these guys, but I'm not going to go shouting from the rooftops. I mean, for crying out loud, I'm paying them a ton of money. That should be thanks enough, right? That's what I was thinking. So I was at the bar one night with Owen at one of these events, and I said, I had a couple of beers. And I said, dude, what the hell's up with you bouncing up there every time I turn around, giving a testimonial for these guys? What's that all about? He said, well, Dave, those testimonials actually turn into a lot of business for me. Said, ooh, why is that? He says, well, what do you think they do with all those testimonials? I said, well, yeah, okay. So what do they do with the testimonial? They got them on the website. So they got the testimonial. They got the name of the person. They got, where he's from. He's kind of easy to Google to find after that. They put up the testimonials in between the different sessions. So everybody knew who the hell this guy was. And he said, I've actually done a lot of business thanks to the testimonials I've done for these guys. I said, ooh, that's kind of smart. Guess who started doing testimonials? So learn that whole thing. So for example, I've got, you guys, if you see my webinars and you see stuff like that, so here's a perfect example. John, I use his testimonial all over the place. He's kind of one of my poster boys for success here. He has literally been able to raise millions of dollars thanks to the testimonial he's given me that I have shown to, at this point, thousands of people at live events, on recorded events and all this kind of stuff, because people will end up looking him up and connecting and perhaps investing with him. Ron, same idea, all sorts of people. So we got all these things, and this is why testimonials can work both ways sometimes, you guys. You gotta be smart about it. But bottom line is, the reason you want to get testimonials is because whatever anybody else says about you is far more believable than anything you can say about yourself, right? If we jump up on the soapbox and yap about how great we are, that's not really going to convince anybody. But if somebody else talks about how great we are, that's much more believable. Does that make sense? You guys give me a thumbs up if that's making sense. So here's what I'm going to suggest to you. As soon as you can, you want to start getting testimonials from your investors as soon as possible. Okay. So we'll go over how to get testimonials, how not to get testimonials, and then how to get testimonials. Now pay attention to this, you guys, because it took me about 20 years to figure this out. Okay. It wasn't taught to me. It took me about 20 years of doing it wrong before I figured out how to do it right. So this is a massive shortcut for you. We'll talk about written testimonials, and then we'll talk about video testimonials. So here's an example. This is a fake testimonial, but this is an example of a pretty good written testimonial. We got the people's, fake picture. It's not a real couple. We got the picture of the couple We got their name, we got the city that they live in, and we got some specifics about what they like about investing with me. Okay, it's fairly specific, short, and sweet. That's what it's all about. Okay, so what they like the best, name and city, photo if you can, and always make sure you get people's permission to use their testimonial. The email is fine. Just save that email with the testimonial. Okay. So would you guys like to learn how the 20-year process? Would you like to get that in the next 5 minutes? No, we can skip it. We can skip. So it's okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. How to get the best testimonials. Okay. You want to know one of the very best ways to get an awesome written testimonial? That's how. Oh, Dubeau, you sneaky, sleazy son of a gun. No wonder you've got so many amazing testimonials if you're writing them for people. Does anybody think that might be a little bit sleazy? Come on, be honest with me. Nobody's thinking it's sleazy. Kevin, you know my trick. That's why you don't think it's sleazy. Here's the thing. All right. So who thinks it's sleazy? Brent, okay, do you want to role play with me for a second here, Brent? And I'll show you how to unsleaze it. Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself, buddy. So here's the scenario. Brent, you are one of my investors. Things are going well with our deal. You're happy with how things are going. So let's just pretend that you and I have just wrapped up. Let's say we have a quarterly meeting and I just go over the numbers with you. And we're doing quarterly disbursements and I'm paying you money and we've just finished all of that. Okay, and we're having a little conversation. It might go along like something like this. So Brent, how are you feeling about the deal so far?
I'm really happy with it. It's good.
It's good. How's it compared to some of the other investments you've done in the past, the non-real estate type investments?
Definitely kicks all those to the curb.
Kicks them to the curb. That's awesome. All right. So were you a little bit nervous when you first started doing this, if it was going to work or not?
I have to admit, yes, I was nervous.
Yeah. You feel a bit better about it now?
Feeling better now.
Okay. Awesome. So do you guys hear all of that we just talked about? Okay. So rewind 10 years. In my earlier, younger, foolisher self, I would have said, hey, Brent, that's awesome. Could I ask you for a big favor? So now he's nervous.
What would you like?
Brent, would you mind? Those are some really nice things that you said there. Could I ask you, could you maybe just write me a little testimonial that I could use to show other people about my deals? Would that be all right?
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. That's what he's saying. But what he's thinking is, oh, shit. He's thinking, I just created another job for myself. I don't like writing. I don't know what the heck to say. I don't remember what I said. So he's going, oh, geez. Okay. So it's another one of those chores that he's got to do that he doesn't want to do. Right. And I say, okay, great. Thanks, Brent. So I know you're a busy guy. Can I follow up with you? Can I maybe get this from you in a couple of days, maybe 2 days? Would that be all right?
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. So now here's what's going to happen, you guys. Brent and I are going to go our separate ways. Brent's going to immediately forget that he's agreed to write me a testimonial. 2 days later, I'm going to call him. I'm going to email him. I'm going to text him, whatever the hell I'm going to do. Hey, Brent, buddy, how you doing? Just a quick little reminder. We talked about that testimonial thing. Have you had a chance to do it? Brent's going to, oh, shit. I knew I forgot something. No, sorry, Dave. I haven't. I promise I'll do it. Okay. A few more days. All right. And then this is going to go on for a while. Now, here's the danger, you guys. Here's the danger, right? Now I've gone from being somebody Brent is happy to hear from because I'm making him money to now I am a pain in his neck. All right. It's a hassle. So a couple of things are going to happen. Either eventually, he's just going to get pissed off and say, no, I'm not going to write the testimonial. Sorry, Dave. Or he's going to write me something that's completely useless. Like, Dave's a really nice guy. You should invest with him. Something useless like that, right? Or he's going to write a freaking essay blah, 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 that's like this long, and it's also useless. Those are the three scenarios that are going to happen if I let Brent write the testimonial. Does that make sense? You asked me how I learned this the hard way, you guys. Okay. So Brent, here's how I'm going to write the testimonial for you, and it's not going to be sleazy, okay? Right? I'm not explaining this. So we'll go back to the role play in a second here. I'm just explaining. I'm going to show you how right now. Okay. So let's rewind. We're having the conversation again, right? I'm going to say something like this. Okay. So Brent, how do you feel about the deal so far? How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah. How's it compared to some of the other stuff that you did in the past?
Much better than other things I've done in the past, for sure.
All right. I wish you would say something like "kick to the curb" type thing. That was a great soundbite. All right. So he does his little chat thing there. Now here's the trick. I'm gonna say, Brent, can I ask you for a favor, buddy?
What is it you like?
now he's suspicious, right? Before he was way nicer before. Okay, here it is. But those were some really nice words you had to say about investing with me. Would you mind if I use that as a testimonial?
No, yeah, sure.
Okay.
No problem at all.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do, Brent. I'm going to go home and I'm going to write out what I remembered that you said, and I'm going to email it to you. And if it looks good, just hit reply. It says, yeah, that's fine. And that'll be your permission for me to use it. Or if you want to change it or tweak it or anything like that, you can just send back a modified version. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure. That sounds fine. You bet.
All right, perfect. Does that make sense, you guys? So now I go and I take what he said, what I remember he said, and I type it out. And you know what? I might massage it a little bit to make it fit my needs better, right? But I'm going to use his words. Like if he said, kicked it to the curb, I'm going to use that expression. That's awesome, right? I'm going to use that. And I'm going to send it to him. 9 times out of 10, he's going to reply back without any changes. Hey, okay, Dave, sounds good. Because he already forgot what the hell he said anyhow. Or he might tweak a little thing here or there. It doesn't matter. He's going to send it back to me. Now I've got not only my testimonial, but I've also got the permission to use it. Is that pretty clever? Is that pretty clever, you guys? Can you use that for pretty much any kind of business you're in? Yes, you can. All right. Yes. So that is how you get a really good written testimonial. Okay. Now, what's even better than a written testimonial? A video testimonial. Video testimonial is awesome. Okay. So, Brent, are you okay if we play along with our little role play again here?
You bet.
So let's pretend we're in person, like we're sitting down at the coffee. I'm at your house or whatever, and I'm showing you the quarterly reports, and then cut you a check or whatever it is, and we're just talking face to face, right? And let's say we had that little conversation. I would do everything I just did, you guys. Get his permission. Say, yeah, it'd be okay. Then this is where I would try it. I'd say, hey, Brent, while we're here, man, would it be okay if I just kind of pulled out the camera, my phone, and just videotaped us having a little conversation about that? Would that be okay with you?
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my phone, put it on the video camera. It's going to look a little weird, but I'm going to put it beside my head, because if I do this to Brent, it's going to freak him out, make him nervous. So I just kind of put it up beside my head, pointed at him, press record, and then I'm going to have a little conversation. All right. So Brent, try to remember what you said before, but don't worry about it too much. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions just to kind of warm you up. So what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Brent Hernandez. I'm from Medicine Hat, Alberta.
Awesome. So Brent is one of our very valued investor partners. We're just finishing up one of our quarterly meetings, going over the results and giving Brent a nice little paycheck here. So Brent, how do you feel about the investment that you're doing with us right now?
I feel really good about this right now.
I feel good about it too, brother. That's for sure. And how does this compare to some of the other investments that you've done in the past?
I tell you, it kicks all those ones to the curb.
There, I got the soundbite on video, even better. Kicks them all to the curb. I love it. I love it. Now, Brent, chances are you were a little bit nervous when you first got started with this. Were you a bit nervous when you first were thinking about investing? Did I lose Brent? Oh, there, I lost Brent's video. Brent said, I'm out of here. Cut. We lost you, Brent. I can't see your video. But anyhow, let's pretend Brent didn't lose his video. So we have that conversation. Matthew, how about you? Why don't we continue with you? Go ahead, unmute yourself, bud. You're having fun with this. There you are. All right, pretend you're Brent. So Matthew, were you a little bit nervous about this when you first started?
Very, very shaky, very shaky.
And how do you feel about it now?
Very good, much better.
Much better, exactly. It's going along very, very nicely. Now, Matthew, if somebody's watching this and they're kind of on the fence about whether they should invest with me or not, what would you tell that person?
I just say jump off the bridge, do it, go for it.
Go for it. All right, I appreciate it, my friend. May I use this as a video testimonial?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Matthew. Stop. Does that make sense, you guys? Yes? Yep. Okay. Very, very effective. So again, those are the kind of things I do. Like these questions I've got on the top of my head, right? But, and they're not very hard. You just want to kind of have open-ended questions. So it's not yes, no answers. So you're eliciting a little bit more response from the other person. And then use these suckers, you guys. Use them all over the place. Put them in your marketing, put them up on the website, all over the place, in your PowerPoint presentation. Again, and just kind of have these questions on the top of your mind before you go in to have those kind of meetings, right? Again, I like to do that. What's your name and where you're from? Just to kind of warm the person up because they might be a little bit nervous about watching goofy old Dave with his phone stuck beside his head. So yeah, have those questions ready to go. Walt, did you have a question? Go ahead, unmute yourself, my friend.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious, just popped in my head. I'm doing a deal with a lawyer that's providing the funding, the money. Yeah. And I was wondering, do you think it would be appropriate to ask him to do something like that? Is that, or?
Why not? Can't hurt.
I don't know. I just thought because he's a professional, so he probably has a little bit more.
Well, I mean, you can ask and he can say no.
Yeah, true enough.
That's about it. But that would, if he says yes, then it's even more credibility.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah, I would definitely try it. And then here's something that works really, really well, especially these days, you guys. You're probably going to be meeting with the people via Zoom, right? So at the very beginning of the meeting, you just say, hey, let's say I was meeting with Matthew. Hey, Matthew, I'm just going to record our conversation here. I'll send you a copy and I'll keep a copy so we got it for our records. Does that sound good? So then I just press record at the beginning of the Zoom meeting, and then we're having that conversation is just coming up naturally. I don't need to be pulling out the phone and videotaping them like that. We could just have that conversation. And I can say, hey, Matthew, those were some really good comments. Would you mind if I use that as a video testimony? And he says, yes. And we got it recorded right there. We don't need to do anything else tricky. Does that make sense? Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, just to add to what you're saying, Dave, it's great information. And for me, in my past life of 23 years on the stage as a performer, I've captured testimonials, exactly what you've done that way. People like Wayne Gretzky, Carrot Top, David Copperfield, Sir Elton John. I mean, we've had the opportunity to perform for a lot of people. And what we typically do, I think it was Walt who had said about the lawyer, what I would do is the minute that deal's done and you're going to pay that guy his check or his balance and he's all excited and hot and happy, that's the time to give him the check. That's the time to get him on the camera and get the testimonial, because he's not going to say nothing bad. Even if the deal went sideways, he's going to be happy. He's getting his money back and getting his profit. And that's what we do in the show business. Once the show is done, the cameras and lights are on these people, getting testimonials nonstop. And like you said, once you've got this stuff on camera, now you write these people and say, can we use that? They're all going to say absolutely. So get as many testimonials as it can. And what, Dave, you've discussed, I've been doing that for 23 years in the show business.
Well,
and
I wish I had mentioned 23 years ago instead of having to learn this the hard way. Yeah, that shows how much smarter you are than I was. Awesome. Good stuff, you guys. So that's the trick. And again, what I like to do is just get the permission right there while I'm recording it. Yeah. So Walter, is it okay if I use this as a video testimonial? Yeah, it is. Perfect. Record it right there. Right. So shouldn't be a much of a challenge there. And then the best, you guys, is a combination, right? So you've got the video, let's say, up on your website, and then to the side of it, you've got the written version of the testimonial, maybe a condensed version. So that way, when people are listening to it, they're reading it at the same time. It's just a double whammy. It double exposure to that. Follow me here, you guys? Is this pretty good stuff? Is this helpful? All right, very good. So here's some very self-serving examples of testimonials for our services, for the done for you marketing stuff. So this was just sent in last week. Yeah, Ben Bergen. So we just did a book. We just did a virtual book launch for him. So Matthew, we're going to be doing the same thing for you, and I hope we get similar results. So I was following up with Ben because we're supposed to be doing another webinar for his group about a month later. And he said, since the book launch, it's been crazy. I've got more money being thrown at me. It's overwhelming. I just got a random message that said, hey, Ben, I sold a home. I've got $1 million to invest. Can we hop on a call? I'm at a point where I've got so much capital at my disposal that I need to find deals, and lots of them. Your marketing service works. P.S. At this point, I've got about 1.5 million to work with. Is that a pretty good written testimonial? Damn good written testimonial. All right. And I did not write that one for him. He wrote that one. Jen, if anybody else is wanting to come in, just don't let him in now. It's too late. We're almost at the end. So if somebody's showing up at this time, you let them in anyhow. Okay. All right. And then video testimonials, you guys. So this is a good example. This is Dave and Karina. They came on board about 8 months ago. So this is kind of at the beginning of our working relationship, and then more recently. So have a little listen to this one. I am great. How are you guys doing? You're looking good. You're looking chipper. You're looking excited.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
sure.
we are excited.
How many people did you guys end up with on your list?
About 122.
Yeah, and it's right. People like to receive that. They're like, "Hey, this is a great message.
warm-up
What a
campaign.
beautiful message to receive." That was a very common thread through the ones who responded.
Oh my gosh, Dave, like this helps us so much. I don't think there's any way we'd be able to do this on our own.
No way.
Zero. There's actually zero. Ready to invest. And they keep seeing these emails. Even today, the e-scene that went out today, I had a friend who's like, yeah, I'm ready to invest just from that one email. And this happens like all the time now. People know what I'm doing. I'm constantly communicating with people. And then when they see these e-scenes, because they see it ongoing, they say, okay, yep, I'm ready to go. And we get contacted just from those e-scenes alone. So that's really, really cool. Last month's vlog, we had a friend who has already invested with us, and he saw that vlog and he said, hey, I was just about to buy this other property, but then I saw your vlog and I thought, you know what, why don't I just do another project with you guys, because he loves what we're doing anyways. And he funded a whole project.
How much would he be bringing in?
In total is 520,000. And it's great. It's great. So that's just from the e-scenes and the vlogs that go out every month.
How much would you say that you have raised up to this point?
It's definitely been over $1 million by now, for sure. All of our projects were funded. Then I went off and got new projects, and then my investor list is just there, and I send it off. Any new opportunities, investing opportunities, I send it off to my investors list. And just from that list, we get, yes, I'm in for this much, or yes, we're in for that.
You're telling me the process works.
It works. It works.
Love that example, you guys. So what they're at the position now where they've got their investor ducks in a row. They've got a whole bench of investors. People have signed off on expressions of interest saying, I want first dibs when you got a deal. So now when they have a new deal coming up, they just email that target group and say, hey, we've got this on the go, first come, first serve. And that's how they're starting to fund the deal. So definitely a nice place to be, you guys. All right. So let's do a quick little brainstorm and discussion. We've kind of done this as we've gone through here, but let's just kind of wrap this up. And then if you guys don't, if you got a few minutes, I want to throw an idea by you just to get some feedback from you guys. All right. But first of all, let's just have this little brainstorm thing and let me know how did this resonate with you, and how do you see applying this to getting referrals and testimonials for your business? And what floated your boat the most from what we talked about here tonight?
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Walt.
To answer your questions there, I like it that it's kind of systemized, right? Like the way you've approached this is with I can't remember the first guy's name. Was it Rob or Ron Gettert or something?
Yeah.
The way he was doing it, I like that. It's kind of a system we got going there, and anytime I can just plug something in and just follow it, just do it task by task is kind of convenient, and I like that. So, and I really like the way the approach you did with the testimonial. That was awesome. Like I've actually done written testimonials in the past for myself from other people. Like I've done that where you said, but I didn't do the interview kind of thing. I just kind of thought, okay, they probably like this, that, the other. Kind of, here's 3 testimonials. Pick one that you think might be appropriate, kind of thing. But your approach is way better. I love that. That's really cool.
And that way that you're talking about, that is really common, especially with like book testimonials.
Yeah.
I've had
that how it works. Okay.
People say, hey, can you write a testimonial for my book? Here's 12 different options. Pick the one you like best. And we'll just put your name beside it, which simplifies things, but it's kind of,
yeah, it felt, I only did it once, actually. It felt really cheesy doing it.
Yeah, that's why this
and even like the guy that did the testimony, he pretty much just wrote his own anyway. So it's kind of wasting my time kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Which was kind of a good learning lesson there.
Because if it gives you kind of a creepy feeling, it probably gives the other person a kind of a creepy feeling as well.
Yeah.
And that we don't want our investors to have any creepy feelings about us.
No, not at all.
Raising capital. Thank you very much, Walt. I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Anybody else? Any comments or thoughts?
Yeah, hey, Dave, I got a comment, a question, I guess. I know I stepped away briefly, so I don't know if I missed this. With the testimonials, it would work the same with rewarding the person too, right? As it would if for a referral?
No.
Oh, it wouldn't? Okay.
No, because they're already being rewarded, right? We're getting a testimonial at a point where we're talking with them after they're happy with whatever it is they're doing with us, right? So we're getting them on a high note. So the best time to get a good testimonial is just after you've cut somebody a big check, right? Or you deposited some money in their bank account. So you've already paid them. They're already being compensated by the deal they're doing with you. So I'm not
Okay.
rewarding people for testimonials because that would come across as a bribe.
Okay, I see. Okay, so the testimony, all right. Because the reason I asked is because I gave a video testimony for someone one time, right? And they promised they were doing a mastermind, and then they were going to sell the mastermind for a certain amount of money, but whoever did the video testimony for them would get the mastermind for free. And I did the video testimony, and it never got the mastermind.
And probably the only reason you did the video testimonial was to get the free thing.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like,
It would.
You would not have done that.
And to be honest, I did enjoy his webinar, the person's webinar, because they did a webinar, and then they said, okay, if you like this webinar, can you give me a video testimony? Send me over the video, blah blah blah. I'll put it out there, and then I'll give you the mastermind for free.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the webinar,
video testimonial, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, so I enjoyed the webinar, and then the free mastermind wouldn't hurt either, especially if he's charging it and I get it free.
Would you ever do business with that guy again?
No, I would never do that again.
Right. So it all comes back, right? Yeah. Gerard, you understand the lifetime worth of an investor to you. You are not going to f that up.
Right.
Just for a little testimonial. So again, we gotta think this through.
Right.
So again, we're not going to bribe anybody to give us a video testimony or a testimony.
Right.
It's got to come from the heart. Well, hey there. Thanks for tuning into the Property Profits Podcast. If you like this episode, that's great. Please go ahead and subscribe on iTunes, give us a good review. That'd be awesome. I appreciate that. And if you're looking to attract investors and raise capital for your deals, then I'm going to invite you to get a complimentary copy of my newest book, right back there. There it is. The Money Partner Formula. You can get a PDF version at investorattractionbook.com. Again, investorattractionbook.com. Take care.